Normalize fucking hating your husband. Like, for real. It's okay to go through about a minute, half a day, couple hours, fuck, a full day, even a week of just like, I can't fucking stand you right now. But deep down or in the back of your head, it might be all the way down in your toes at this point, you know I love you so much. And I know we're in this together. We're just in the thick of it.
In a world where love should conquer all, one woman boldly announces, "Normalize hating your husband." Yes, you heard that right. She is suggesting that it's perfectly acceptable, even normal, to harbor hatred towards your life partner for an entire week. It's a statement that's not just shocking, but also bewildering. Now let's pause for a moment and examine this claim. If you're married, isn't it because you've chosen to share your life with someone you deeply love and respect? Isn't it because you see in them a partner, a confidant, someone to cherish and hold dear? So when did it become fashionable to hate the very person you vowed to love, to nurture, to protect? It's a question that not only challenges our understanding of marriage but also the basic principles of human connection and empathy. This isn't just wrong, it's dangerous. Let's delve into why. Marriage, a sacred bond built on love, respect, and mutual understanding. But according to this woman, it should be built on hatred. Now let's dissect this thought. In a healthy marriage, love is the cornerstone. It's the glue that holds two people together through thick and thin. It's that warm feeling that makes you want to wake up next to the same person every day. But according to her, it's perfectly fine to hate your husband for an entire week. Can you imagine fostering hatred for 7 consecutive days towards the person you vowed to love and cherish? It's like planting a seed of a poisonous plant in your beautiful garden, expecting it to bloom into a wonderful flower. It simply doesn't work that way. Respect is another pillar of a strong marriage. It's about acknowledging your partner as an individual with their own thoughts, feelings, and choices. It's about treating your partner the way you want to be treated. But her advice seems to disregard this fundamental principle. When you hate someone, you disrespect them by default. You belittle their existence, their worth, and their contributions. It's a complete antithesis to the concept of respect. Understanding is the third element that makes a marriage thrive. It's about empathizing with your partner, being patient with them, and accepting them with all their flaws. But nurturing hatred for your partner for a week is far from understanding. It's about creating a wall of resentment, making it almost impossible to understand and empathize with your partner. So, when you put love, respect, and understanding into one basket and hatred into another, you can clearly see the imbalance. The weight of hatred can easily tip the scale, leading to an unhealthy, toxic relationship. Is this the type of relationship we want to promote? I think not. Now that we've identified the flaws, let's examine the potential harm this advice could bring. Normalizing hatred towards your spouse, in this case the husband, doesn't only seem absurd, but it also carries with it some potentially harmful consequences. Let's reflect for a moment on the emotional and psychological impacts this could have on both parties involved. When you harbor negative feelings such as hatred, even for a brief period, it can take a toll on your emotional health. It's draining, it's exhausting, and it breeds a toxic environment that can affect not just you, but also your partner. Imagine being on the receiving end of that hatred. It's demoralizing, to say the least. Over time, this can lead to feelings of inadequacy, low self-esteem, or worse, depression. Furthermore, normalizing hatred can pave the way for emotional and psychological abuse. When hatred is deemed acceptable, it can easily escalate to more harmful behaviors. Verbal abuse, manipulation, control, these are all signs of an abusive relationship. And let's not forget, abuse is not just physical. Emotional and psychological abuse can be just as, if not more, damaging. And then, there are the children. If any are involved, the impact could be devastating. Children are like sponges, they absorb everything around them. They learn how to treat others based on how their parents treat each other. If they see hatred being normalized in their own homes, they could grow up thinking that it's okay to hate their future partners too. This could perpetuate a cycle of unhealthy relationships in the future. Lastly, this kind of advice undermines the very essence of marriage. Marriage is about love, respect, and mutual understanding. It's about cherishing your partner, not hating them. If we start normalizing hatred in marriages, what happens to these fundamental values? So, not only is this advice flawed, it's potentially harmful too. But there's more. This advice reeks of ungratefulness. This is where the crux of the matter lies. It's an assertion that undermines the countless efforts many husbands pour into their relationships. It's a mindset that fosters negativity and ingratitude towards the very people they've chosen to share their lives with. Let's take a moment to unpack this. Think about the husbands who, day in and day out, strive to make their spouses happy. The ones who work tirelessly to provide for their families, who take the time to understand their partners, who make sacrifices and compromises to ensure peace and harmony in their homes. This advice blatantly disregards these efforts, painting husbands in a negative light, fostering resentment, and promoting an ungrateful mindset. What does it say about a society that encourages such ungratefulness? What message does it send to the younger generation about the sanctity of marriage and the value of companionship? It's a dangerous precedent, one that breeds discontentment and disunity. It's important to remember that no relationship is perfect. There will be ups and downs, disagreements, and misunderstandings. It's part of the human experience. However, the key is not to normalize hatred, but to encourage communication, understanding, and appreciation. To cherish the good moments and work together through the challenging ones. To value the person you've chosen to spend your life with, not despise them. The advice offered by this woman is not just harmful, it's disrespectful. It's a slap in the face to all the husbands who are doing their best to make their marriages work. It paints them as villains, makes them feel unappreciated, and undermines their efforts. In the grand scheme of things, it's not just about one person's misguided advice. It's about a trend that's gaining ground, a narrative that's being pushed, a mindset that's being normalized, and it's about time we took a stand against it. This isn't just harmful, it's downright disrespectful. Let's not forget about the men. This advice has serious implications for them, and for the institution of marriage itself. In the wake of such statements, men are being driven away from marrying within Western societies. The idea of normalizing hatred for your spouse, even for a week, is undoubtedly repugnant. It's no surprise that many are seeking to escape this atmosphere of disregard and resentment. Let's talk about the rise of passport bros. These are men who, disillusioned by the attitudes they encounter at home, are looking further afield for partners. They're seeking relationships based on mutual respect, love, and understanding, not a weekly cycle of hatred. Eastern countries, with their different cultural attitudes towards marriage, are becoming increasingly appealing. And can we blame them? After all, marriage is supposed to be a partnership of equals, a haven of love in a tumultuous world. Who would willingly sign up for a relationship where hatred is normalized, even celebrated? This advice is not just harmful to women, it's destructive to men and to marriage as a whole. It's like a poison, seeping into the very foundations of our society, corroding the bonds of love and respect that should be at the heart of every marriage. And it's not just about individual relationships, it's about the message we're sending to the next generation. What kind of example are we setting for our children if we tell them it's okay to hate your spouse, that love is conditional, and anger is the norm? We need to challenge this narrative for the sake of men, women, and the institution of marriage itself. We need to promote love, understanding, and respect as the cornerstones of a successful marriage, not hatred and resentment. Marriage is a journey, one that should be undertaken with joy and mutual respect. Let's not allow misguided advice to turn it into a battleground. This advice isn't just harmful to women, it's destructive to men and to marriage as a whole. So, we've debunked this woman's advice and exposed its flaws and potential harm. We've dissected her controversial statement, unraveled the glaring flaws in her advice, and outlined the potential harm it could cause. We've also shed light on the ungratefulness that this mentality fosters, further exacerbating the problem. Remember, the foundation of a healthy relationship is love and respect, not resentment and disdain. If you marry someone, it should be because you genuinely want to spend your life with them, cherishing them every step of the way. Let's not forget the countless husbands who do everything within their power to make their wives happy. This woman's advice is a step backward, not forward, diminishing the incentives for men in Western society to get married. Before you go, remember to smash that like button, subscribe with bell notifications, and share this video. Let's spread the word about the importance of love and respect in a relationship.